There is a video on the internet that has never been fully explained. It was recorded by a security camera inside an elevator. The footage is grainy, time-stamped, completely ordinary, until it isn't. A young woman steps inside. She presses buttons. The doors don't close. She leans into the hallway, looking left, then right, and suddenly, something changes. Her body language shifts. Not curiosity, fear, real fear. She moves strangely. Her hands gesture towards something that isn't there. She steps back inside, then back out again, and after a few minutes that feel much longer than they are, she walks away down the hallway and disappears forever. Her name was Elisa Lam. She was 21 years old. She was traveling alone through California for the first time, and the last place anyone ever saw her alive was the Cecil Hotel, downtown Los Angeles, one of the darkest, most disturbing, and most infamous buildings in American history. This is her story, and it becomes far more disturbing than anyone expected. Los Angeles in the 1920s believed in itself. The city believed in glamour, in sunshine, in the American dream. And in 1927, the Cecil Hotel opened its doors. At first, it was beautiful. Grand ceilings, elegant architecture, luxury. It was built for travelers, businessmen, families, people searching for a better future. But the future that arrived was something else entirely. Within a decade, the Great Depression consumed America, and the Cecil changed with it. The luxury disappeared, the neighborhood deteriorated, poverty moved in, then crime, violence, despair, and eventually, death. Lots of death. People jumped from windows, bodies were found in rooms, murders happened inside the building. Over time, locals gave it a nickname, Hotel Death, and somehow, things only became darker from there. One of the men connected to the Cecil was Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. In the mid-1980s, Los Angeles was terrified. A killer was breaking into homes at night, attacking people while they slept. Ramirez murdered at least 13 people, and after committing those crimes, he returned to the Cecil Hotel. According to witnesses, he sometimes entered through the back door, still covered in blood. Nobody asked questions. At the Cecil, people learned not to ask questions. Then came another killer, Jack Unterweger, an Austrian murderer who convinced the world he had changed. He became a writer, a journalist, a public figure. Then he traveled to Los Angeles and checked into the Cecil Hotel. While staying there, he murdered multiple women, just like Ramirez. He blended in perfectly, smiling at staff, walking through the lobby, living among ordinary guests. That was the building Elisa Lam checked into in January of 2013. Not because she knew its history, most people didn't. The hotel had partially rebranded itself as Stay on Main, a cheaper hostel-style experience for young travelers. Online, it looked normal, affordable, safe enough. Just another hotel in Los Angeles. But appearances inside the Cecil had always been misleading. Elisa Lam arrived in California alone. She was from Vancouver, Canada, a university student, intelligent, creative, emotional, the kind of person who documented life through writing. She had a Tumblr blog where she shared thoughts about books, music, loneliness, and mental health. Because Elisa lived with bipolar disorder, type 1, a condition capable of causing extreme manic episodes, psychosis, and severe breaks from reality when untreated. She had struggled before, been hospitalized before, and she was prescribed several medications to help stabilize her condition. But like many people fighting complicated mental illnesses, she sometimes stopped taking them consistently. Still, people who knew Elisa described her as warm, funny, curious about life. She wasn't fragile, she was adventurous. She wanted to see the world. So she traveled through California by herself. She visited bookstores, tourist attractions, the San Diego Zoo, and according to people who met her during the trip, she seemed excited about the future, like someone with plans, like someone expecting to go home. But shortly after checking into the Cecil Hotel, things began changing. At first, her roommates complained about her behavior. They said she was acting strangely, leaving unsettling notes on their beds. One message reportedly read, "Go away." The hotel eventually moved Elisa into a private room. Then, on January 31st, something else happened. Elisa attended a live television taping in Los Angeles, but before the show ended, security escorted her out. Witnesses described her behavior as erratic. Something was happening, whether it was stress, isolation, lack of medication, or the beginning of a severe manic episode. The people around her could now see it too. And later that night, the elevator footage was recorded. You've probably seen it before. Millions of people have. It became one of the most analyzed videos in internet history. The footage begins with Elisa entering the elevator. She presses several buttons, but the doors refuse to close. She steps forward carefully, peers into the hallway, left, then right, as if she's hiding from someone or something. She suddenly retreats into the corner, pressing herself against the wall, trying to disappear. Then come the hand movements, the detail nobody forgets. Her hands move strangely through the air, slowly, unnaturally, as if she's communicating with something invisible or reacting to something only she can see. Then she steps out of the elevator, looks down the hallway one last time, and walks away. The elevator doors finally close behind her. That was the last confirmed sighting of Elisa Lam alive. The following day, Elisa's family became worried. During her entire trip, she had contacted them constantly. Daily phone calls, daily updates. Then suddenly, nothing. No messages, no answers. The Los Angeles Police Department arrived at the Cecil Hotel and searched her room. But her belongings were still there. Her wallet, her laptop, her clothes, everything. It looked like she had never planned to leave. Search dogs combed the building, hallways, rooms, the rooftop. But somehow, they found nothing. No scent, no trail, no sign of where Elisa Lam had gone. Then police released the elevator footage to the public, and everything exploded. The internet became obsessed with the case. Forums, YouTube videos, Reddit threads. People watched the footage frame by frame, searching for clues, searching for hidden figures, searching for answers. The theories spread rapidly. Some believed Elisa was being chased. Others claimed somebody had been edited out of the video. Some said the elevator doors were being controlled remotely, and many focused on the Cecil Hotel itself, its violent history, its connection to serial killers, its reputation for death. People began calling the hotel cursed, haunted, evil. Then things became even worse. An innocent man became the target of online accusations. Pablo Vergara, a Mexican musician known online as Morbid. Because of his dark appearance and music style, internet users convinced themselves he was involved. Thousands of people harassed him, threatened him, destroyed his online presence. There was only one problem. Pablo Vergara wasn't even in Los Angeles when Elisa died. He was in Mexico, completely innocent. But by then, the damage had already been done. The internet had chosen a villain, and facts no longer mattered. Even today, people still debate what happened to Elisa Lam. Some believe this was a tragic mental health crisis. Others insist there are too many unanswered questions, too many strange details, too many coincidences. And honestly, both sides understand why, because the deeper you look into this case, the stranger it feels, and what happened next only made the mystery darker. 19 days after Elisa Lam disappeared, guests inside the Cecil Hotel began complaining about the water. The pressure was weak, the color looked strange, and the taste was terrible. Multiple guests reported it, so a maintenance worker was sent to inspect the rooftop water tanks. There were 4 of them, massive industrial containers holding thousands of gallons of water. The worker climbed onto the roof, opened one of the tanks, and found Elisa Lam inside, floating face up beneath the water. Her clothing floated nearby, her room key, her belongings, and for nearly 3 weeks, hotel guests had unknowingly been drinking from that same water supply. The discovery horrified Los Angeles and instantly created even more questions. The autopsy later ruled her death an accidental drowning. Bipolar disorder was listed as a significant contributing factor. There was no evidence of assault, no signs of physical trauma, no evidence of another person inside the tank with her. But toxicology reports revealed something important. Elisa had not been taking her medications correctly. Some drugs were missing from her system entirely. Experts later explained that bipolar disorder, combined with interrupted medication, can trigger severe psychotic episodes, hallucinations, paranoia, detachment from reality. The rooftop itself was accessible through a fire escape, and although alarms existed, hotel staff admitted the security systems often malfunctioned. Investigators concluded Elisa likely reached the roof alone, but one question refused to disappear. How did she end up inside the water tank? The hatch was heavy. The circumstances felt impossible, and even today, many people still reject the official explanation completely. Forensic psychiatrists described what psychosis can feel like. The world becomes distorted. Threats feel real. Shadows gain meaning. Fear consumes logic. And in that state, a person can make decisions that seem impossible to everyone else. Investigators believe Elisa experienced exactly that, a catastrophic mental health crisis inside one of the darkest buildings in Los Angeles. But the reason this case still haunts people is because of the elevator footage, those movements, those expressions, that fear. Whatever Elisa believed she was seeing felt completely real to her, and nobody helped her. Officially, the case was closed. No homicide, no conspiracy, no supernatural explanation, just tragedy. But some stories refused to stay buried, and Elisa Lam became one of them.